This is the RV Advisor Podcast with your host, Tom Alexander. Get all the latest information, trends, advice from experts, stories from the road, and more in the world of recreational vehicles. Now, here's Tom.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the RV Advisor Podcast. My name is Tom Alexander. I'm joined today by Alex Huffman, and he speaks to us from Kentucky. Whereabouts in Kentucky, Alex?
We're right here in the home of Lexington, Kentucky, man. Been here my whole life. It's an awesome place.
All right. So Lexington, the great city of Lexington, Kentucky. And welcome. Thanks for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Yes, sir, man. I've been looking forward to it. I appreciate you all having me.
Yeah. So I want to learn a little bit about Home Sweet Fifth Wheel. That's Home Sweet Fifth Wheel. And it really, you've got a following. You've got over 1,000 followers on Instagram. And off you go into different locales around the country. You said you'd spent some time in Ocean City, Maryland. You've been around a little bit in the east part of the country, right?
Oh, yes, sir. So it's kind of started off a couple years ago. We'd always had a camper, loved going camping on the weekends and whatnot. Being nurses, we just worked 3 days a week. So it gave us plenty of time to go camping. And then we both worked together for 4 years at a big hospital down here. And then finally came home one day and was like, you know what? Let's hit the road, see if we can see the country and get paid a little bit more. And we'll live out of this camper. So we traded in our small travel trailer, got a brand new fifth wheel, and kind of off we went.
Wow. So that's pretty impressive. And I'm seeing here travel nurse, dad and mom with a toddler with 2 dogs. So you've got, Oh
yeah. We've got a full crew in there. That's for sure. We've got a 42 foot fifth wheel. So with a mid bunk. So we give the bunk room to our son and whatnot. And we've got as much room as possible, but I'd be lying to you if I said it didn't get tight sometimes.
Yeah. Just a little bit. Right. But so when you're in this thing and you're driving around, the plans to hit the road, are they plans, or is it just sort of like, hey, let's see where the road takes us today?
So as far as where we're going for the job, there isn't a whole lot of plans for that. When we take a travel assignment, they're 13 weeks long. So when we've got about 4 weeks left or so, we kind of start looking at, where's our options at from there. And then once it's kind of free choice at that moment. But then once, wherever we're at, say when we were in Virginia and we've got to drive all the way across the country to get to Iowa City, now then we'll plan those stops along the way there. But as far as where we're going for the job, where it looks cool, where haven't we been, and let's give it a shot.
Yeah. So travel nurse, tell me a little bit about versus, the conventional kind that are, kind of assigned to doctors' offices, hospitals, urgent cares, those kinds of things. Tell us a little bit about the life of a travel nurse.
Oh, it's awesome. So pretty much everyone that I've ever known that in nursing school, you ask them, what do you want to do? It's all want to be a travel nurse. You can make good money and that you can go and see the country. So you have to have 1 year of, actual nursing experience before you can take off and hit the road. But pretty much, as when I first got hired on as a brand new nurse, we had several months of orientation, kind of learn the ropes, and then I guess you were on your own. But when we take these travel nurse assignments, we're with somebody for 2 days, and then boom, you're out on your own. So, you don't know where anything's at. You don't know how to get a hold of anybody. You don't know where to take them. It's definitely kind of a sink or swim kind of moment because they don't give you a whole lot of training, but I guess you kind of know that going into it.
Now, do you have some gear on board as well that you have with you, or wherever you go, the facilities are supplied?
Yeah, so the facilities kind of supply everything that we need once we get there.
Gotcha. You're just bringing your skills and your good looks.
Exactly. Yeah, I'll bring what good looks I have with me, but yeah, that's all I kind of show up with, and then from there you just kind of got to learn where everything is, and you know the routine and you know how to self-manage. That's why they don't want a brand new nurse straight out of school be a travel nurse because they've never done it before. But it can get overwhelming sometimes just because the hospital that we were initially at, we specialized in pediatric oncology. Well, the first travel assignment I took was a pediatric neurology unit. So yeah, I'd been a nurse for 4 years, but I hadn't necessarily seen that specialty. So it was definitely a big learning curve, not only the facility itself and how they run, but I hadn't taken care of kids with what they all got going on.
Yeah. Wow. So, boy, it really sounds like something that's demanding, but also rewarding.
Oh, most definitely. It's the most awesome job that there ever could be for sure. I truly, when you go home at night, you definitely feel like you've made a difference at some point.
Yeah. Well, wow. How many people can say that? That's wonderful. We're going to learn a little bit more about Home Sweet Fifth Wheel when we take after this break. We're going to take a short break, and then we'll be back with more from Alex Huffman. This is the RV Advisor Podcast. I'm Tom Alexander. Back in a moment.
Hey, RV owners and those thinking about owning. Want to maximize the fun and minimize the hassle of buying an RV? You need GPS. It's Gigi's personal service. Our $350 package gets you me, the expert advice, and a host of outstanding services. Visit thervadvisor.com.
We are back on the RV Advisor Podcast. My name is Tom Alexander, and I'm joined by Alex Huffman. And it is a Home Sweet Fifth Wheel. And it's a cool little Instagram page. You got to check it out. Some great photos of some of the travels they've made, and both Alex and his wife Brooke, both nurses, both travel nurses. They got a toddler and a couple of dogs as well, so a full crew. And he's kind of a 3-month on, 3-month off the time for you guys parenting as well. So it's like, when one's on the road doing their thing, the other's watching the little one. And
Exactly.
Is that a little girl or a little boy?
We have a little boy.
Little boy. Okay.
Yeah.
Great. So you also listen, you do get some relaxation time. You do get to travel.
Most definitely.
Seen a lot of different places, and boy, what a better mode of travel than in an RV, especially these days. And you're on the front lines of this medical issue we got going on worldwide right now. They make pretty darn good isolation units.
Oh yeah, most definitely. But yeah, that was, of course we love doing what we're doing and we love the money, but getting to certain areas and going seeing, what those towns and, surrounding states kind of have to offer. I guess that's kind of a big thing too, that we kind of look at, when we're taking a job, what is there to do when we're not working? What haven't we seen? And, what will our son enjoy?
Yeah. And there's perceptions, I think, too. People say, oh, well, we want to go see this, Yellowstone and Yosemite and all these different amazing places around the country. But why don't you tell us a little bit about an unexpected gem you stumbled on? Some places it's like, well, maybe people aren't necessarily all that particularly familiar with, but have you come across a couple of those surprises along the way?
Honestly, nothing too crazy. So we've been in St. Louis, and then we only made it out to Iowa City, but we spent a lot of time on the East Coast. So you got Ocean City, Maryland, and Virginia Beach, those big towns over there. But we stumbled across a couple small little beach towns, that were just all locals, and the beaches weren't too crowded and everything. Right. So hole in the wall restaurants, those kind of things, which was. And then they all, they were a lot closer than we had ever thought, when we were back home, looking at the area. You get there and you think that beach is an hour away. Well, come to find out this, little local beach is only 20 minutes down the road. So, that was always cool, trying out the new restaurants and just things like that.
Yeah, you never know what you're going to run into. And sometimes you do find a little, like you said, a little hole in the wall place or a off the beaten path kind of destination that maybe not a ton of people know about. And it's like, hey, you know what? This is our spot here. This is pretty cool, right? That's happened.
It seems like everywhere that we've been, we have found that one local restaurant, that's kind of back our go-to. We don't want to cook, but we don't want to go to a chain restaurant. Well, we like this little pizza parlor around the corner that all the locals recommend it. So that was always cool.
Yeah, wherever the locals eat is a good place to start.
Exactly. As soon as we check in the campground, I asked the lady checking me in where can we eat around here, because she's gonna be the one that.
Yeah. You don't want Applebee's or anything.
No, I can do that back home.
No, man. You want to find a place that is good, authentic, family-run, good home-cooked meal, right?
Exactly.
And it's funny because I've done a little bit of traveling outside of the States, and those same attitude when you go overseas or something and you go somewhere else where you don't want to go to these tourist traps. You want to go to a place where hey, where do the people in town eat? Where do they go? And usually the food is outstanding, you know.
Exactly.
So,
That's why we hit the road. We wanted to try, not only, living in a different type of thing, but we want to try new experiences, try new food, all that.
yeah.
We don't want to do the same things we could do back home.
But what kind of stuff? What's your favorite kind of food, or are you like a whole swath of
So I personally loved, being on the coast and just having all the local seafood all around me. My wife, she's not much of a seafood person, so that was nice for me. But we always try to find a little hole in the wall pizza place or something like that we can all enjoy. And
Right. Well, it's funny. Ocean City, Maryland. You had mentioned Ocean City, Maryland, and as a kid, I used to go there quite often. I had family that. My mom's side that lived in the DC area. So that was always a destination.
Oh,
We'd
yeah.
visit them first and then off to the beach, and a
And
lot of great.
And Thrasher's fries right there.
Oh yeah.
We had to try that.
Lots of great places in Ocean City and nearby in Rehoboth and
oh yes,
kinds of places. So you can always find great stuff there. And it's funny because no matter where you go around the country, there's always tremendous places that have been around in families for generations, and they keep going. And I love to find those kinds of places. It's just great.
So do I. Like when we go to try to book a campground for an extended stay, I love to stay at the little family-owned campground that's been around forever. That's
sure. No, absolutely. I grew up in a family business. My dad and his brothers had movie theaters, and so I was really into that. And unfortunately, we kind of somewhat fell victim to the major megaplexes and chains that would come along and couldn't battle those guys.
Yeah.
But restaurants are a little different, because wherever you go see a movie, the movie's the movie, but the food is different, right? So it's like you go to a restaurant that's got a great special or something like that, and that's your place. So we've got a couple around here where I live, and they're all mom and pop places.
Oh yeah, those are the best ones for sure.
Absolutely. We're speaking with Alex Huffman from Home Sweet Fifth Wheel. Tell us about the origin of Home Sweet Fifth Wheel, and we can go on to Instagram. And let me just take a peek here. So the URL is Home Sweet Fifth, the number 5, TH Wheel, right? So Home Sweet Fifth Wheel. And you got some amazing photos here, just beautiful stuff. Not only of you and your family, but also just some surrounding communities and beautiful spots and destinations and shots of lakes and great roads, open spaces.
Yeah.
Tremendous. Tell us a little bit about the origin of that.
So we knew when we were going to start traveling, we had to have a travel page. We weren't too much of the YouTube bloggers or anything like that. We just didn't think that we'd have the time, but we would have time to post a picture every now and then and see if we could get a travel page going. So the first thing you have to do is obviously you got to come up with a clever name. So the first thing that came to my mind was obviously Home Sweet Home. Right. Well, that one had been taken, and you're looking at everybody else's, not wanting to steal their ideas, but maybe we can combine a few together. And quite honestly, we thought Home Sweet Fifth Wheel, we thought that one was going to be taken. But sure enough, it hadn't. So we're like, that's catchy and it's easy to remember. So that's what we went with. And we got a big old decal across our back window on the back of the trailer. So when we're driving down the road, people can see that. And
yeah, they're able to check it out, and they know that you're that's you, and they can follow your adventures on the road on Instagram. Do you have any other social media platforms, or is it just Instagram right now?
So we have just our personal accounts, but as far as traveling and everything goes, that's the only one we got.
Yeah, and like I said, well over 1,000 followers right now, and you can follow them again on Instagram at Home Sweet Fifth Wheel. That's 5TH Wheel, Home Sweet Fifth Wheel, and terrific. Where's next? Now, you said you're in Lexington, the great town of Lexington, Kentucky right now. You're visiting your folks. Awesome.
Correct.
Weather looks nice there behind you.
Oh, it's been perfect.
And I'm sharing that also with our audio only consumers here on the podcast. Some folks just listen to it versus watching it, but it looks like a nice day there. hot or is it comfortable or, you know?
Oh no, it is hot, hot, hot. It
Yeah.
has been so hot ever since we've gotten back. It's almost miserably hot.
Yeah. Well, you know, you are officially in the South where you are.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
most definitely.
and of course humidity, and you know you're a little ways away from the accommodating breezes of the beach. So you know,
Yeah.
being in Kentucky isn't exactly the
Oh
beach
no,
isn't exactly across the street.
exactly.
So you know, but look, you're with family. It's summertime. Life is good. So why complain, right?
Hey, life is great. I have no complaints. If I tell people all the time that, you know, we all want to complain about the small things in life, well, come to work with me and my wife for just one day, and we can change your outlook on that.
Yeah, well, you know, and hats off, everybody. You know, we've all of us, I hope, have gained a new found respect for everybody working in the medical field. I always have. I've had some personal health challenges in my lifetime, and I've been really blessed with being tended to and cared for by incredibly compassionate, wonderful people.
Yeah, no, hey,
And,
we appreciate that. We always hear the bad stories and whatnot. We don't get appreciated a whole lot, you know, verbally and whatnot. So me and my wife both, we do appreciate that. But I mean, on that note, there's a lot of people out there that aren't healthcare professionals that are still out there working, and I mean, they're just as important as we are right now. We're no better than anyone else. So
absolutely, there's a lot of essential workers out there, from the folks that deliver food to your house to,
exactly,
you know,
we're just one little small piece of it.
Yeah, mechanics. Every you know, every walk of life, there's people out there doing really important things, and yourself and your wife obviously certainly very much included in that. We certainly do appreciate it, and everybody that's really in harm's way to some degree, and you know, you got to challenge. Yes, you take your precautions, but ultimately it's about helping other folks, and that's, what can you say about the people who do that? It's just it's awesome. Well, we really do appreciate your time, Alex. I know we had a little bit of a challenge trying to
yeah, man, I apologize.
Oh, not at all. No,
we got
I mean,
finished up with a job, and then we're on the road constantly, and then it's just so this was just the best time. And
this is great, and I'm glad we got to do it, and
yeah.
I'm glad we did get to coordinate a good time, because I know you're a busy person. You and your family are always on the go, and so we're thrilled that you were able to take time out of your schedule and join us right here on the pod. It's Home Sweet Fifth Wheel, and it's on Instagram, and the fifth is the number 5 TH, so it's not FIFTH, it's 5TH. Home Sweet Fifth Wheel on Instagram, and you can look at all the beautiful places they've been, and see some great shots, family shots as well, and just a lot of cool stuff to follow the action and the adventures of this traveling nurse duo, Alex and Brooke. Alex, again, thanks so much, and hopefully we'll have you on again.
It was awesome. It was awesome. I'm glad I got to be on here. We can do it again whenever our schedules meet up. I'd love to. That
would be fantastic. We'd love to do it. And if you ever get down to our neck of the woods here in South Florida, we'll you know, maybe we can do one live on camera. Yeah, well,
I wish South Florida was my neck of the woods.
Well, winter time is the best. I can tell you that. You don't want to come here now because it's
exactly.
For a couple reasons.
That was the other downfall of living in a camper. Our winter assignment, I was in Iowa City, Iowa.
Ooh, yeah, that's a little chilly.
I got there and it was 6 degrees.
Yeah, no thanks. You know, but no, the right now with COVID spiking tremendously here, and just the unbearable humidity. Wintertime is definitely is better, and who knows, maybe we'll see you down here, you and your lovely wife. So we appreciate it. This is the RV Advisor Podcast. I'm Tom Alexander. We'll see you next time. So long, everybody.